There. Wondered why it all gone blank there. Aloha, everybody. Give me a wee thumbs up if you can hear me tonight. Not my usual untech-like start. Right, let's get started while everybody else is coming in and joining us as they pop in and out. So I played for the ACVC last weekend, not DWARF, my home club. I played by invitation. They went and they were having a local match with the Village Idiots, and I do rather like the Village Idiots club name. It's maybe where I should be. I went 2 for 2. Hey! And we'll have a kind of a little bit of a match report, and we'll be answering some of last week's questions that have come up into the feed, any questions and answers. And we're going to have a little go at thinking about having a name for this little section and what it's going to grow into, and this kind of space behind me, what we're going to do with that. So the ACVC, now let me see if I can remember the name. It's a club that's in Glasgow. It is the Arts and Crafts Veterans Club. I think I got that right. It's a club where veterans can go in and they can do woodwork and metalwork and bits and pieces, and they do war games in there. I think one night they have the other game that shall not be mentioned, 40 something or other, and they run kind of a very bolt. All the other historicals run on another night, but it's very much bolt action. There's probably about 10 or 11 of them at that club playing bolt action specifically. So they invited me along for the wee jaunt to a place in Scotland called East Kilbride, where they had 10 youthful members who were going to gang up on us, which was really nice. Now, not my usual club. My usual club is in Dunfermline. It's DWARF, which stands for, if I can remember, Dunfermline Wargaming and Role-Playing Fellowship. So DWARF, that's my home club, as it were. So this, it wasn't a friendly. It's more of a kind of local rivalry, this game between the ACVC and the Village Idiots. However... it's supposed to be played in good humour, so take that what you will. And most people think that club matches between clubs where you can get them together have got to be really highly competitive, but they don't have to be. Some of the club members might want to do that. You can just do them for a bit of fun, and you could do club matches, between 1 or 2 players. Really, if you've got a couple of you from a club, play another couple from a club. In fact, there's 1 or 2 tournaments. I think we've got one starting here in Scotland where it's going to be a club tournament where we're doing, I think this one, it's going to be teams of 2. It's going to be. And around the UK, we have a couple of team competitions. We have down, certainly that I know of anyway, down in... it's down in the south. It's called, I can't remember what the heck it's called. Well, it's a big tournament. Big Russell runs it, does a really good job. But it's teams of 3. We get international teams coming across to that, which is really good. And up at my own home club, DWARF, the first tournament of the Scottish season is a pairs competition. So some tournaments, if you're sort of in a triples, each of the 3 people in the triples will play a game each round. When we're playing doubles at the club in DWARF, it's 2 players playing the one game against another 2 players, which can be interesting. It takes a little bit longer, but we kind of work it out altogether. Anyway, we went down there. It's East Kilbride we went to a Girl Guide Scouting Hall, which was really quite nice. My first game, we were trying 1,250 points, and we were only allowed 15 dice, so a lot of veteran units, quite a lot of tanks turned up. I took my US list, which for this had 2 veteran chaffies, 2 regular M15 gunships, so that's the 1 heavy autocannon and 2 heavy machine guns on each on a turret. And we had 2 American half tracks with the HMG. Can't remember which one. It's one with the 365 HMG. 2 of those as recce, and I had a Jeep as recce. And for troops, what did I take? I took for troops, I had 2 Ranger squads, an 8-man and a 7-man, and 2 airborne squads, again, an 8-man and a 6-man, 2 inexperienced lieutenants, and I took, what else did I have in it? I had a company commander. He was a regular. I was splashing out the points. And I took on him, because we could only have 15 dice, it was trying to find what you could load up. So I took intelligence. Can't remember the full name of it, but the intelligence rule, where you can roll a dice and see if you get to pick the first dice out of the bag on one turn. It all went very well. I'm very fortunate to have a few years of experience behind me, and my 2 opponents on the day didn't have quite as much experience, and I think it was just because I'd been around the block. I know a few tricks that I managed to win, but they let me win quite nicely. And it was a fantastic day. Obviously, winning helps, but it was a fantastic day. Had lots of good fun. Both my opponents said they enjoyed themselves, so I hope they did. And the 2 clubs had a great time. There was lunch, sandwiches, and soft drinks, and buns and cakes and various things. It was lovely. We had plenty of time. There was there was a bit of space so you could put your stuff down. It was really nice. And the team I was playing for, the ACVC, won fairly convincingly, but I'm sure in following years, it probably won't be that close. And I had a fantastic day, really, really enjoyed myself. And it's something I was really needing, I think, actually, because I've been doing quite a lot of work in my normal job, and quite a lot of work on YouTube as well, trying to sort things out and make plans for the future. So it was really nice to have a little bit of downtime. So all you guys, go out, play those games, and just enjoy yourself. That's what it's all about. Now, let's have a look who's in. Caractacus, aloha, and Lord Materius. Good to see you again, my old friend. Perdindas. Perdindas? Did I get that right? Aloha. Good to see you. And anybody else out there, go on. Aloha. Give me a wee thumbs up or something if you're shy. If not, get questions and ask me silly things or whatever. Enjoy your Sunday night while you're doing your painting or whatever you're up to. A couple of comments here. Bazookas. Can they destroy artillery or just kill the crew? Can they destroy fixed machine guns also, or again, just crew? Right. Bazookas can only destroy the crew, I'm pretty sure. But if you kill all the crew, aloha, Brian. Nice to see you there, pal. If all the crew is killed for one of those artillery or machine gun teams, with the artillery, if there's no crew and it's not recrewed immediately, the artillery piece is removed at the end of the turn, not when the crew all goes, but when at the end of the turn, if that makes sense. Caractacus. Where are the village idiots based, per Dindas? They're based in East Kilbride. If you need to, if you're looking for a club to go to, if you drop me a message, I can get you the contact details for the village idiots. But yes, probably should be my second club, to be honest. Probably even my first club. Thank you for the wee heart, whoever gave that. Yeah, and I really enjoyed it. Unfortunately, I didn't get to my club on Friday night. Friday night's my usual night, but I've got quite a lot of work on at the moment. So, yeah, with one thing or another, I've just been kind of busy and not had enough time just to chill out. So, yeah, that was fantastic. So, so a couple of things. Let's be what's been going on at the challenge. Solo bolt action is developing quite nicely. It seems to actually work. There's a couple of little bits to go, and seeing as my good pal Brian is on there, I might ask Brian to make my rather meager rule set look rather nice for when it comes out. You guys can get your hands on it. Brian is fantastic at doing the design for documents and things. Don't know how he does it. If you have a look at any of the DWARF rule sets or player packs, they all look really, really nice. And he has done one for us for the 10th of October 500-point tournament, which is Art of War Blitzkrieg. And it's looking really good. And I shall make that available. I think I said I'd make it available last week, but it kind of slipped my mind. So I'm going to make it available on the YouTube channel somehow or other, that you can all get your hands on it. And I'll put it up in the boot camp on Facebook, although I think Craig might have already done that. So if anybody's wanting to run their own tournaments and things, that would be fantastic, and they can use those as a guidelines of how they might want to run their 500-point tournament. That would be great. What else is going on? Perdidas. Will Dwarf get involved at some point? Well, first of all, we'd have to be invited, because it is a club thing between the ACVC and the Village Idiots, and I wouldn't want to step on their toes. But yeah, I suppose if they asked us, we would try and get a team together. We might need to get a few other people involved just to spread out the teams, or they might reduce the teams a little bit so we could get it all in, because we'd be looking for a venue and that type of thing. So that's really up to those guys. I don't really want to step on their toes. There were 20 people at it, and we probably could have got another couple of tables into the East Coast Bride bit if they were looking to expand it a little bit. But between the two clubs, I think they did pretty well getting 10 team members on each team, to be honest. Aloha, Ant, by the way. Good. Oh, Lord Martarius. Yeah, May 40, and that's exactly, my Dutch army was May 40s. Fantastic. They do a really good range, very comprehensive. They even have the little armored cars and things. So that's a fantastic place to go. I might have pictures of my Dutch minis somewhere or other. If you want to get in touch with me, Lord Martarius, you definitely know who I am. So yeah, I could probably, in fact, you know what, Lord Martarius, I'm probably never going to play with the Dutch again, even though I love them to bits. So depending if you want it as a project, fair dues, go and get your models and paint them up. If you're just looking for an army, get in touch with me, and I might send them across the pond, mate. So let me know if you need that. If not, I can put you in touch with May 40. We did a bit of work for him when I did my Dutch armies that I took down to Bridge Too Far in Cambridge. In fact, I brought them across to America, Lord Martarius. They were at one of the Las Vegas Opens, and they were also at Adepticon. 1 year I took them to Adepticon. They even won a tournament and won Best Painted at the tournament. Way! Days of glory in my past. I'm having my cup of tea because I've just come in from work at the moment. So excuse me while I have a quick slurp. Excellent. Okay, now, at the moment, I've been referring to this sort of live stream as a Sunday review, which I don't think is actually probably the best name for it. So I'd like you guys to get your thinking caps on. I'm going to open it up to the rest of the YouTube community that I'll very shortly be starting to grow. But we're looking for a name for the Sunday live stream that we're going to do. And also we're looking for ideas on what sort of things you would like to see or hear on the Sunday live stream. So I know a lot of you are painting while you're listening to this, and some people listen to the replay when it goes up on YouTube, and you listen to it as you're doing your painting and bits and pieces. And for that, I am very grateful. But we need a name, first of all. So I'm looking for good ideas for a name. And once we get a few ideas, we'll have a little poll and see what you like best. And then the area behind me, now it may not be this area in the end, but whatever you see in the background, we want to kind of make it more appropriate for our little band of brothers and community here. So if you've got any ideas and what I can do to make all this bit round here all look pretty, we'd love to hear those ideas, and we will try and put something together and give me a little hideaway or a den to do these shows, for want of a better word, for, and see if we can't improve these a little bit. We do have a little bit of money trickling in, not a lot, $20-30. So we will probably get a webcam is going to be our first purchase eventually, once we've got enough, and then we'll get a decent microphone, and that'll help things go along. Aloha to everybody else that's dropped in. If you're shy, no problem, give me a thumbs up or something. If you're not that shy, drop a wee comment, because we don't need to really know who you are. So just go in, do those comments. Right, what else has been going on? All the YouTube stuff's been going really well, all that jazz. Nobody's interested in that, really. So one of the things that crossed my... Oh, while we're talking about the community, I'm not going to mention them, but they know who they are. However, somebody mentioned Discord to me. And Discord is something that I haven't had a huge... Aloha, David. Had a great deal of interest. I've had a couple of bad experiences with Discord, but as I understand it, Discord would actually allow us to possibly talk live rather than for me to read messages from you. And it may have some other advantages. Would anybody be interested in a Discord, first of all? If you are, I would consider doing one, and one of you have graciously offered to help if I was interested in that, and I will contact that person in the coming few days anyway. They're a great invisible friend of mine and have been for a long time, and I'm very, very grateful for that connection that we have. So thank you for that, whoever you are. But if any of you have any experience of Discord or any thoughts on it, do let me know. And it's something that we may consider in the future. Or, you know, would another, you know, forum be better? You know, something like doing, what's one, you know, Zoom. Would Zoom be a better format for this, where you could actually speak live with me one-on-one? I would be up for doing that, or looking at other various systems, not just YouTube. And in the future, I am hoping to get a proper community started, where we've got all the new guys being helped by guys with a bit more experience, and just making a nice community rather than some of the Facebook communities. they can be a little short from time to time with new people who are asking what appear to be fairly simple questions. And sometimes some of the new, not always, it's only occasionally, but some of the newer folk to our community sometimes don't feel terribly welcome. I'd like to have a lovely welcoming space where they can get information. We can teach them how to play. Basically, I'm not a great player. I'm okay. I've had my times, but I'd like to bring new people on and bring new people into, I was going to say the sport. Is it a sport? It's as much a sport as darts are. So we'll call it a sport. Bring them into the sport and the hobby would be fantastic. Get lots more new players on there. And if there's any of the Glasgow clans on there, you're doing a great job over in Glasgow at the moment. And hopefully there'll be more people round about who are bringing new people in all over the world. You're doing a great job. Lauren, you cheeky so-and-so. Lauren says nobody would be able to get a word on. Believe it or not, I'm actually pretty quiet and pretty shy, but I'm aware when I'm on this medium that dead time doesn't really do a lot of good for anybody. So I witter on and on and on. Now, K47, Conflict 47. Yay. There has been... I'm interested in Conflict 47, so I'm going to start doing some videos on it. As I said last week, more for bolt action players kind of crossing over a little bit and dabbling with it. And I see this week Warlord issued a kind of press release, would you call it? It went out on, I think it was an email it came out on, telling us that they had great plans for K47, but they were still keeping up the impetus with bolt action, which is fabulous because bolt action for most of us is our first love. There will be some people that, K47 is going to be their first love and they'll maybe draw across. Now, the great thing with bolt action, as we all know, is the basic rules are all the same. So I don't have to remember too much, which is fabulous. So there's a lot of opportunity now for us to bring people from K47 into bolt action, and for some of us from bolt action to kind of creep over and play with K47. There are quite a few competitions starting to pop up, certainly around about in the UK. I don't know about the US. Maybe some of our US listeners have heard some rumblings about the K47 scene over there. Warlord are certainly pushing it. They are going to do a kind of plastics rollout very similar to the bolt action plastics rollout. I think at the moment the bolt action, it's one new infantry box per quarter is what they're kind of trying to come out with, and plus doing the other plastic models, the vehicles, etc., doing them in plastics as they go along, and doing the support now. We've got the artillery pieces are starting to be fully rolled out in plastic, and what a difference that makes. Give me a hands up or a thumbs up to anybody who has struggled trying to put metal artillery guns together. It was a nightmare. Blue tack to try and plop things up while you tried to get and bits of gun sights stuck to your thumbs with super glue. I really didn't like the metal artillery. One of the reasons is I didn't have artillery. But the plastic sets look great so far. I haven't actually got one yet, but they look as though they're really good to assemble. Nice and light, a bit light to carrying in the bags. It looks really, really good, and they've had a lot of good feedback from those that have got them already. Yes, thanks, Ant. I'm glad I'm not the only one. Oh, I have nearly been brought to tears. In fact, I have thrown some of them in the bin because they were that. I think the last one I did was a German quad autocannon. Oh, and I did stick with it, but it took me hours. I mean, literally hours to put this darn thing together. But now these things are coming out in plastic. It looks much, much easier, much nicer. So well done, Warlord, for that one. Shortly, I'm going to be on Warlord's list for getting some of the, the preview looks at some of the models and some of the books and things. So it'll take a month or two before that kicks in, I imagine. So the next book we're probably going to get a wee early look at is going to be the French book, which is going to be quite exciting, especially as I've got my 500-point French army for the one box challenge. And yeah, how's all your one box challenges going, guys, who are in it? Any of you in there with the one box challenge? Let me know. Let me see what your progress is. I did a video last week showing you my feeble progress for the French, and started painting them a little bit, not very much, but a little bit. Another little slip. Sorry, guys. Oh, I'm back to it. So, yeah, really looking forward to the French book. They're going to have new French plastics as well, as you would expect. And then further down the road, I haven't had a look to Amazon recently to see what the rollout is, but I think after the French, I think we've got the Allies. So, and it looks like all the PDF lists are going to find their way in that. Going to find their way into the Allies book, or the book after that, I think, is going to be the Axis. So I'm quite looking forward to seeing how partisans add up. And they have told us that partisans are going to have 3 ways to build them, depending on where the partisans are, which should be quite exciting. And then it would be interesting to see whether they're going to bring out the theatre and campaign books, whether they're going to redo those. What's everybody excited about coming out? I'm going to have a wee look and see what the comments are coming in. David, I've just got some K47 stuff. Really excited to start playing. So am I. I've only had to play around with it at the moment, but I'm really looking forward to using the Rift dice and see how all that works. And the German zombies look as though they're going to be a really difficult force to overcome. But we're going to start doing, I'm going to start doing some 500-point stuff for K47 so people can get into it. Although I might make it sort of 700 or 800 points, because K47 points-wise tends to be more expensive. So, and you want to get one of the smaller walkers or something in there to get you started. But we'll be having a look. I don't know. I held it up. I don't know if you can see it, but this is the field manual for the introductory set. So I'm going to do a video on the introductory set so you can see what's in there. But it's fantastic value for money, the introductories. Both the introductory sets are fantastic value for money if you're just getting into either of the games. And for any of you that are with Bolt Action, I think the introductory set, depending where you are, in the UK, you can probably get it for about £45, give or take a few pounds. And you've probably got about 60 quid's worth of stuff in there, plus the field manual, which got enough rules in there to get you playing the game to start with. And it also has a few dice, as you'd expect. And it's got one of the paper playmats, which is perfectly adequate for, getting you started off to learn the various rules and things, which is good. Who else? I was talking about the guns, yeah. Bloody anti-tank guns are insane to assemble, David. Yes, as you can tell, I agree with you wholeheartedly. And Ant put his hand up to say, yeah, they were sounds. David, I got Warlord Atlantic BEF box in the end. So I'm busy assembling them. Yay, great in there, good. I think I'm going to have a second one box challenge, actually. I think I maybe said it last week, but I got a load of kilts when I worked for Warlord. I got a load of the legs with kilts. I quite fancy doing a little commando army, so I think I might do a second one. It's just getting time for it is the thing with that. Now, what else have we got on here today? So, tell you what, let's have a look at, while we were talking about the ACVC, we had some pictures from that. Sorry, I'm going to pop back to that for a second. Let's open Bolt Action Scotland, which is where we, as Scots, go. So that was both teams there. You can see me shining in the middle there. What a sad little lump I am, but I'm a happy little lump. And you can see the trophy there by Adam, who was the captain of the ACVC, and the village idiots there, all smiling. Now, this is, they melted down a load of plastic soldiers. This is something to do with the tournament that I wasn't quite sure about. And it's the glob. And the glob sits in the prize. There we go. That's the winning team. That's the ACVC. All there, shining in their glory. Let's see what other... that was just a picture from the tournament. And who else? That's the glob. That's some of the prizes. So there were prizes, as you can see there. Oh, I haven't put this up, have I? I've just noticed. Let me put this up on the live stream. What a silly old man I am, and we'll do that again. Sorry, chaps. But actually, I think it was that one. Yes, it was. Share. Right, now you can see it. Let me go back a little bit because I'm a silly man. So let's go. That's the winning team there, the ACVC, as I said. Me in the front there. That's the trophy with Adam. That's both teams together. You can see we all had a good day. It was a nice sunny day, but they had loads of fans on, and it was lovely and cool in the place, just perfect. And then this is the glob I was telling you about. They melted down all these minis, and it sits inside the trophy. And it must be some sort of club thing. So if any of the Glasgow guys are on, go and let me know what the whole thing, the glob, was about. And we went on. This was the one of the rounds showing you the final bit here. The sticks down at the bottom below number 10 are showing you the score. So I think it was 26-13 in the end was the actual score. And we had some spot prizes you can see there for who did the first foobar, who did the first officer captured, first tank killed, and first strike with a mortar on a 6. Which was all quite interesting. That's the glob inside the cup. Don't know what it's about. And that was just some pictures from the day. And there we go back to the beginning. So we can take that out of there now. Come back to the live stream and take that off. Yay! And then Bolt Action Boot Camp. Let's have a look at the Bolt Action Boot Camp and see what's been going on. Still a lot of people taking part in that. It's really fantastic. It's going on till the 10th of October. I don't know how I could possibly forget that. The base for it at the moment is the Bolt Action Boot Camp, although the next one we'll probably do one next year. Next one we might have our own little home for it. So the Bolt Action Boot Camp, I will put the Facebook link. I'll attach it to the bottom of this video for those that are watching this, not live. For those that are live, I'm going to put the link to the Bolt Action Boot Camp in here. Let's hope I wasn't looking at something I shouldn't have last time. Go there. That's that done. And then if we go in and we'll have a quick look at the boot camp, let's open that out a little bit and go down, because there was somebody's here that was really quite nice that I wanted to have a look at. This one here. This was Gary Burkham. So it's his first one box challenge. He's going to do DAC. So he's got his mate coming into him. That's fantastic. Friends doing it together. Love it. And he's put out his list. I'm sure lots of you could advise him whether this is good or not. 489 points for 8-eyed order dice. I like order dice, but this is what I like. He's got, so why the 21st? Because he's done 21st Panzer division. Painted this army before, so made mine the 15th. Starting assembly on the 10th of July. Lovely. Excellent. And he's got a little picture down here showing us his progress so far, which looks really good. Oh, there's a few of those LMGs there. Hitler's buzzsaw. He's got a couple of light mortars. That looks like a spotter. Might be for the light mortar, though. And he's got a medium machine gun. And that'll be his officer squad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, fantastic. So I think that might be a spotter rather than a, like a forward artillery observer or a forward air observer rather than a spotter for these mortars. You can't take spotters for light mortars. You're talking rubbish, Paul. So yeah, of course it's going to be an observer of one type. And he's got some other ones in the background there on the wine bottle corks. So it'll be interesting to hear what those are going to be. Okay, let's get back. Let's see if you can see my happy smiling face again. Lovely. And we'll look. So Caractacus, Japanese now have heads. Excellent. Sorting out accessories for them. Might have them primed. Wow, fantastic. I would like to have all mine primed. Have I got? No, I've still got some bare plastic. So we'll work on getting them primed and getting them in here. Now, one of the things I'm going to have a go at some of the comments. So the video I put out, which was last week, the viewers picked France for me, where I went over with my progress. That was quite interesting. We had 1 or 2 come up on there. Now, I know it's hard to believe, but some people felt that they would like to help me with my pronunciation. So thank you all for that, because my pronunciation was terrible. However, so we've got David McCann here. Hi, just watched your video. Really intrigued by one box challenge of a couple of bolt action boxes that I'm yet to get to. The boxes are Winter German Infantry. Yep. And British Canadian Infantry. Great coats. I'll drop some lists, hopefully, and that will help me make up my mind. Fantastic. Relighting his enthusiasm for bolt action. Fantastic. That's all I'm looking for here, is to get people enjoying it. What else did they say? Francis the Infinite. I think he had a message on the show last week. Absolutely lucky that France was chosen. Seeing your list also in action in the game we posted, that was quite a similar list. I feel like I get a nice idea for what I can expect with my bigger 1250 point army. As I feel the core game plan is very similar. Have a spotter for the mortars and indirect fire weapons, spam VB launchers with the infantry. Yeah, so he was taking notes. That's interesting. At the moment, until the French book comes out, the only real anti-tank the French have got is HE, whether it's artillery strikes, which we get 2 of. So a lot of people are doing at least 2 infantry sections that can take artillery spotters. Most larger armies I've seen with the French have got 2 artillery spotters, so they're potentially getting 4 artillery strikes, which, if they strike, can ruin somebody's day, but more often than not with artillery strikes, as we know, if any of us are long-time British players, they quite often kind of don't come off. Another little slurp at the mug. Sorry, guys. And the VB launches, I'm not sure whether the VB launches are actually worth it. They're 20 points, where I could probably buy a light mortar for that, which would give me more range wouldn't it? The VB launches are 6 to 18 inches, so you have to be quite close to be able to do anything with them. The game I put up, they were quite effective, actually, because he bought the Finnish infiltrators in. In that particular video, it was French versus Finnish at 500 points. And the VB launchers were very close, so I could use them, and they certainly helped out. But I think they're going to be very situational, and I'm kind of thinking a VB launcher for 20 points, or would I just be better off with an LMG? Some of the French squads, you can take 2 LMGs. So it isn't just the Germans. But we'll see how that works out. What do you guys think? Do you think VB launchers are worth the money, or do you think a light machine gun is better? VB launcher works exactly the same as a light mortar. However, it's in the squad, so it's more difficult to take out. And yeah, it's more difficult to take out, but it's got that shorter range, so you don't have to get quite close. Oh, I don't know. Go on, tell us what you think, lads. Tell us what you think. What else was happening in that video with comments? Now, Super Joan, so Super Yellow, has spelt out the Tirailleurs Senegalese, and it's not trailers. Now, spelling it doesn't really help me with the pronunciation, to be honest, guys. But, thank you for trying to help. Now, I think somebody else has helped me much better. Where was it? The Night Magic Gamer or something like that. The French unit is pronounced Tirailleurs. But at least he pronounced it for me. So that's more of a help. Thank you very much, whoever that was. Now, going back to it, what else was on there? So this is the French starter army box with all the Fez heads. Yes, it is. It's not the starter army box, though. It's the French infantry box. They do come with Fez heads, as you put them. And they're absolutely spot on and wonderful. Now, somebody called Craig Brown has said, still got those Antares dice, old man? Well, yes, I have, because I can read the orders on them, and I like to be able to read the orders, and I like to put the correct order by the unit. Thank you very much. I'll wait till I get my hands on you, Mr. Brown. And MS70072 said, I got the French as my Warlord mystery box last year. Excellent. Really pleased with them as an army I hadn't really considered, but still with a lot of good options and an interesting history. Thanks for the video, as they don't get a lot of coverage. Yeah, I suppose that's pretty true. You don't see a lot of French, although with the new book coming out, we're going to be Frenched up to our eyeballs. I did have somebody post an unkind comment about white flags, which I deleted, even though I find it a little bit funny. It's probably not appropriate, so yeah. And then David, I've got your comment here, David, which I haven't replied to yet, but I will get to. I've been away from the board for a couple of bits. The Americans kept the 2 artillery strikes, so you may keep yours. I don't think it was artillery strikes. They kept the 2 airstrikes. So, yeah, we might get to keep ours. However, you don't see a lot of American air observers now. They can be pretty devastating if you roll a 1. The American strike, but more to the point, there's an awful lot of anti-aircraft weapons now, particularly autocannons, which are devastating for air observers. So I haven't seen many people playing air observers in version 3 yet, but it may come. You never know. And then Vincenet Jones said, can observers spot for light mortars? Yes, they can, as long as the light mortar is regular or veteran. And it's just another little added incentive for having artillery observers. If they're doing the 2 strikes, they're well worth their 75 points at regular, I think it is. Keep them hidden. And the other big advantage is because they're artillery observers, they don't need a direct line of sight to a unit, which means you can often hide them away and they don't get picked off. So whereas with the air observer, you have to have a line of sight. And if he has a line of sight, it means somebody has a line of sight to him potentially, and they can die. So yeah, I really quite like the artillery observer as long as you can keep the 2 strikes with it. Now let's have a look. Not real. Right. Somebody. So this is real word. Yeah. Vincent replied. Somebody told him that they could do it, and he said, "Yeah, not really sure how the observer would communicate with a light mortar, though. It's a game." Yeah, so probably wouldn't happen in real life, but as a game, it kind of works. As a small scale bolt action player, and being French, I like the list. That's the dude who commented here. I will use this as a reference for future lists. Thanks. Fantastic. If I can be a help, that's lovely. And Mangaloid, I think it's really cool that the French get access to the Senegalese soldiers. That's what I'm going to call them, the Senegalese soldiers. Then I don't have to pronounce it. Great attention to detail. Oh, I'm glad you thought so. Sometimes I kind of just run off the top of my head. And that was a lot of the feedback that we got in the last few days on that particular video. Oh, we got some more messages, have we? No, we're good. Excellent. So what else is keeping us going at the moment? Oh, yeah, let me know if anybody's been playing club matches at the weekend. Do let me know. It would be interesting if any of you do have club challenges like the one I was in with the ACVC and the Village Idiots. I think it's really good to try and get clubs together. One of the things when I got into bolt action was trying to get the international scene together. Not quite sure why I wanted to play people traveling across the world, but I started traveling 7 or 8 years ago. First of all, I started traveling down to England, which for us in Scotland is a different country, and playing quite a few tournaments down in England. And then I started going across to America to play in some of the tournaments. And it was one of my goals was to try and get people traveling throughout the world. Now, I'm not saying that it was me that got everybody traveling throughout the world, but it's wonderful to see so many people playing internationally when the opportunity occurs. Not everybody has the opportunity, but when you do get the opportunity, it's fantastic. We go across to the World Team Championships. There's the SOS, which I can't remember it, down in the bottom of England is getting played. The guys in Europe travel all over the place, and we do regularly now have guys from the UK and Europe going across to some of the larger American tournaments. I know that I would love to get out to Las Vegas Open again. I think they've changed it. It used to be early January was when it was on, and they've changed it to October now. So it takes a bit of rearranging for myself. But we'll have a go. Oh, Schooner. Aloha, Schooner. So, and I would love to get across to Adepticon again. There's 3 or 4 tournaments, bolt action tournaments on there, and they're definitely going to have K47 tournaments on there. I'd love to get across to Adepticon again. And there are another couple of large American tournaments. Some of them run by my friends over in America. And they're friends because I play bolt action, so they're now friends. Fantastic. And that's all about getting us all together. But even closer, remember, lads, keep your communities going. Try and give them opportunities. Think of different things to do, and encourage those new people in. Unfortunately, I don't get a cut of Warlord sales. Well, unless you go to my affiliate link, of course. I nearly forgot about that. However, But the more people we can get in, the bigger the community grows, the more games we can arrange, which is what it's all about, is rolling dice and having fun. And now that I've got Schooner on here, yeah, the work you guys in Glasgow are doing to get your community together is absolutely fantastic. You're starting to make us on the East Coast look fairly weak, second-rate neighbours at the moment. So keep it all going. And yeah, I would love to have more team club competitions going on. If you're new here, and there might be one or two new here, genuinely welcome. If you come on a bit late, tell us where you're from and what army you're thinking of building. The one box challenge, remember, is running through October with the tournament in Falkirk on the 10th. So the culmination of it for this year. And I would love to try and expand it out a little bit. And it would be lovely if I could maybe get Warlord to take it on board and kind of make it some sort of international thing, maybe. So I'll maybe have a word with my friends down at Warlord, see if they would be interested in that. That would be really neat. We could maybe get our own wee site for it or something. Anyway, that's me starting to think again. Now, let me put something to you. Rules queries. Even at the little friendly competition at the weekend with the ACVC, I thought they were saying ACDC for some odd reason. I'm an idiot, but to be honest, prefer ACDC as a name to ACVC. But guys who are helping out the veterans there do a fantastic job. Anything you can do to help veterans, you're okay by me, even if it means you got to support England in the World Cup. So a rules question that came up for me at the weekend, which was one that I knew because I've been around the block and my opponent didn't know, and that was about vehicles moving on roads. So let me see if anybody else realizes this one. I'm sure most of you do if you're experienced. If you're new, you might not. So some of the people listening to this might. But on a road, we know wheeled vehicles, if your movement starts on the road and finishes on the road, you can double your movement. Fully tracked vehicles can't. So they just do their normal movement, whether it's a road or they're crossing a wall or whatever it is. It's just normal movement for them. However, the half-tracked vehicles, so vehicles that have wheels and tracks, they also get to double their movement on the road. Now, my opponent didn't realize this when I did a double movement on a road. And it took him quite by surprise. And he has been playing for a year or two. But the actual bit that pertains to that specific part of the rule about the half tracks is actually in a very small print section, I think, on the actual movement charts. So you do have to be quite on the ball to even notice it. Do any of you other guys kind of notice any more of those wee bits in our version 3 at the moment? Because the more of those I could find, the more we can branch out to people. And I also want to do a video so people know the recce escape rules properly. I do see people trying to, I don't think they're doing it on purpose, but trying to use recce to move into positions which they're not allowed to because they actually have to try and get out of line of sight first. And it helps if everybody, both the person who's using recce and the person who's having recce used against them, knows the correct rule properly from start to finish. And I see the recce rule being played potentially incorrectly, even at the WTC, because it was played incorrectly with me until I actually sat down and read the damn rule properly as it is in version 3. Now, let's have a quick look. Let's have, there's been a few comments, mainly from Schooner. Thank you very much, Schooner. I need all the love I can get. Where are we? Oh, there's been a few. Right. So, Caractacus, I bought K47 introduction book, like the German figures, but not so much the US Fireflies. Oh, I actually prefer the US Fireflies. Oh, look at us, chalk and cheese. Maybe we should have split a box between us and gone half as, mate. But yeah, you want to pick up whatever kind is cool. And all the German iconography, we could argue about the rights and wrongs of it, but it did look pretty cool. I kind of quite like the iconography, but yeah, I know. Dodgy ground, depending where we are. David, I always follow the rule of dice. Of course you do. Brian, the LMG over the launcher, higher chance of getting its points back. Yeah, I kind of agree with you, Brian, but who knows? Can a VB launcher be taken by a sniper? Correcticus. No, it can't. It's a squad weapon, as far as I'm aware. I don't think I've ever seen it being available to small teams. And why would you take a VB launcher in a small team when you could take a light mortar, I guess? But no, sniper. Wouldn't it be great to have a sniper VB launcher? That's just sunk in, Correcticus. That would be amazing. So I don't think they'd have it. Imagine a VB launcher hitting on a 3. Oh, I like the sound of that. I might not tell Brian that that's not a rule and just use it against Brian, or Craig. Even better, I'll do it on Craig because I don't think he's listening tonight. He'll never know. Yeah, thanks, Scooter. Copenhagen was good this year. Yeah, well, it should be good next year too. I think you're currently one of the Scottish captains for it. Well, we'll need to try and rustle up some more Scottish captains, see if we can get 2 or 3 teams again. We had 3 teams last year. It was really quite good, and Copenhagen was wonderful. Scooter doing Aussies or even East Africa company for his 1 box challenge. That'd be great. Or wouldn't it be great if we had a 1 box challenge at the ACVC? Yeah, ACVC. I'd think about that. I'm old. Oh, do you fancy doing a 500-point challenge or a 500-point competition? Schooner, I'll come. Yeah. Line of sight, then better line of sight. Then you can't do it. Not sure what that was replied to. Fabulous. Now, what else has been going on? Because I'm rambling a bit tonight. I came in late from work. I didn't really have time to prepare, but we are going to prepare the live stream in future. So remember, suggestions for names for this live stream that I do on a Sunday. We're going to make it a regular thing. I might need to miss the odd time where I'm on holiday. If I do, I'll maybe try and record one. I don't know quite how you record a live session, but we'll do some sort of recorded message which we'll put under the auspices of the live feed for the purposes of that. And try and make it into something special. Remember, give me suggestions how to decorate this. It's looking a bit peely-wally at the moment, as we say up here in Scotland. It's looking a bit plain. So what else have we got on? Let's have a look. A couple of ones coming on. Should have read VB taken out by sniper. Oops. It's all like cracked. I guess who cares? David, so many people get the recce rule wrong. It makes me second guess myself, and me too, because I used to play it wrong. And it was only when I read it. Why did I read it? I was reading it for making a video. And when I read it, I'm like, I've been playing that wrong all this time, and I should know better. However, I'm old, so I'm going to use that as the excuse, as I do for everything, and get away with it. But yeah, it's very easy when you assume how a rule is played, particularly if you're playing it in club and everybody plays it the same way. You very often can go to a tournament like the WTC and it comes as a bit of a surprise. Okay, I think we've been on for approaching about an hour now. It'll be time for me to get to bed. I have got a student going to a driving test tomorrow, so I've got to be up early. to give them a wee bit of practice and get them up to the test centre. So I'm going to go off now. Tomorrow, Tuesday, not tomorrow, Tuesday, I will put up the schedule for next Sunday's live feed. If you can get a few more guys coming in, that would be fantastic. Get a few more questions going, any rules questions, or if you don't have the question, if you've got anything to point out with the rules, that would be fantastic. We are trying to help the new players here as best as we can. So for just now, I'm going to say good night to everybody. Sleep tight. Don't let the bed bugs bite. And hopefully I'll see you across a gaming table very soon. And please go easy on me because I'm just old and I'm pretty stupid, really. So take care, guys. Keep rolling sixes, and we'll talk to you all again very, very soon.